Good day, Versenbola here, Carib-Sport. Well, Russia versus Trinidad and Tobago. The game has just concluded, and it was a 3-0 victory for the Russians. No surprise there. I think the surprise was it was a spirited effort by Trinidad and Tobago. They defended strongly, and that game could have easily been 3-2 or 3-all. It really could have been, but for better finishing. Let's face it, this was not the Trinidad and Tobago national squad. It was an A squad at best. They were missing about 6 or 7 players, and there they were playing Russia in Russia. A gulf of difference, even on our best of these. And it was, again, when you consider the losses we've had this year and by the margins, it was, again, a surprisingly spirited effort. I'm sure I'm not the only surprised individual. I'll be honest and tell you, I had some sort of internet feed. I missed the first 2 goals because of the intermittent nature. Thank you for Scorch TV. Switched over to you guys, got a perfect feed. And I have to admit that once I got a regular feed from the 15th minute onward, Trinidad and Tobago were settling in, were defending strongly. And by the 25th minute, that game could have been 2-all. I want to make sure I have the lineup correct here. Yeah, that game could have been 2-all, but for better finishing by the Trinidad and Tobago squad. And a lot of players had a decent game today. Justin Garcia had a good game. Malik Khan had a good game. Phillips, he always seems to have a good game for Trinidad and Tobago. Kaihim Thomas on the right, wonderful game. Good, strong defender. Another option for us on the right side. Yes, he got breed, which led to the third goal. But in general, he had a pretty decent game. So I was very pleasantly surprised. I didn't know a lot about Kaihim Thomas. I haven't seen a lot of him. Our goalkeeper, Denzel Smith, had a wonderful game despite 3 goals. So, overall, it was a very good game, especially for some of the defensive players. Andrew Raymond had a decent moment as well. So, that was heartwarming, especially with Kaihim Thomas. He was a revelation on the right side, despite the little breed he get. So, as I said, spirited effort. This game could have easily been 3-2 or 3-all if for better finishing by Trinidad and Tobago. I don't want to take away anything from the effort of the TNT team, but I think this game was made easier for us in comparison to the South Korea game, simply because the Russians did things to make it easier. They gave us space to play. We had room to move, to look around, to pass balls to the left and right, to go past men, rooms to counter up on the flanks. When we played against the Koreans, it was always a sea of red in front of us, and we did not have the ability to go through them or pass balls over the top. The Russians also, after the second goal, I think started to take us, not seriously, because they scored 2 goals in, I think, less than 15 minutes. And they were pressing high. There was a lot of space at the back. There were two good breaks for Ryan Telfer. He couldn't even get the ball on target, unfortunately. And what's his name? Sorry, I forgot his name. Rion Mo. Yeah, no. Rion Mo had a good break also in the first half. But it was a good defensive work by the Russian. Rion Mo had 2 wonderful chances in the second half. I don't know what happened. I couldn't get the ball on target, although he went past the keeper. And then, of course, there was another nice ball he got. He took a shot. Keeper parried around the bar, but that was an offside moment. As I said, we had our moments and had our finishing been better. This game could have been a draw, which is a big shock when you consider it's Trinidad versus Russia and how many players we were missing. Just off the top of my head, no Spicer, no Dante Sealy, no Payne, all right, no Rio Cardenas, no Kobe Henry. I know I'm missing out somebody's name. No Levi Garcia, all right, 6 solid players. Imagine if Levi Garcia, Dante Sealy, and Cardenas had played with the kind of space those Russians were giving us. Again, I think this game result had more to do with the Russians not taking us too seriously, and they would have played a different game had they been playing Mexico or the United States of America. Nevertheless, a very good spirited effort. I know a lot of people were expecting worse in terms of the scoreline. I was certainly one of them. Some good defensive work by some of our players, and that was good to see. Again, Kaihim Thomas very good on the right-hand side. Malik Khan good as usual. You'll notice Phillips got a yellow card because he kept being grabbed by the guy and pulled back, and he got fed up. You cannot manhandle Phillips. Very nice to see that level of football from him. He's always playing well for Trinidad and Tobago. And again, good overall performance for TNT. No surprise here. I hope nobody's going to knock the coach too much. Offensively speaking, we just didn't have much to offer. And again, surprisingly, we had our moments. Now, moving forward, the World Cup is happening. And I'm really hoping, Lord knows what the TTFA really does, but our peripheral players, the young Daryl Garcias, Trestriel, Seth Hadid, Malachi Webb, these kind of fellas, Dominic Joseph, these fellas need to be blooded with lesser opposition. I was saying in earlier videos, in July, August, bring down 3 or 4 Caribbean teams. Let's play these guys against them like the Grenada, the Guyana, Jamaica, 18, whatever. And then hopefully at least have 2 solid games against world-class opposition in July, August with a full national team. It doesn't, and nobody expecting England or Italy, but it could be Sweden, Norway, it could be Nigeria, it could be Colombia, Paraguay, Uruguay, okay, Croatia. The crowds will come when you have a world-class team. The crowds will come and you will make your money. I want to suggest also to the Ministry of Sport, work with the TTFA, let the Ministry of Sport sponsor a world-class international, say hypothetically against Morocco, Tunisia, Egypt. Let them handle their expenses. Let them work in conjunction with the TTFA. And in return, not only will they pay the players for playing, but what they will do, because they are promoting this game and spending the money, and the TTFA is working with them. Let at the gate, the ministry, after expenses have been met, get 30% of the net, and the rest goes to the Trinidad and Tobago FE. So, for example, let's say you bring down a team like Morocco and charge an average of $300 a ticket. My math is limited, but I think you're looking at over $6 million at the gate. You can easily cover your expenses, and advertisers will come forward. You don't have to look for advertisers when you have crowds. You can't bring on Guyana and Jamaica and expect, Jamaica second 11, Barbados, Antigua, and expect big crowds and advertisers. But you can expect big crowds and advertisers when you bring on world-class opposition. The entire world is doing it. And if we at Trinidad and Tobago cannot do it, let sponsors step forward. Let the ministry step forward. Let somebody help the TTFA. It's better for football, and you'll make some money. So at the end of the day, Trinidad and Tobago, spirited effort against the Russians, had their moments, didn't have to be 3-0. And we can only wish Coach Derek King the best going forward. Lord knows what the plan is for TNT for the rest of the year. We know we have some competitive football coming up, but in terms of exhibitions and helping the players get ready, we have no clue because nobody tells us. Hopefully they're trying to organize something. We have a lot of empty space in TNT football, and hopefully they'll be able to organize some internationals. So thank you for tuning in. My name is Verson Bola. I hail Carib-Sport. God bless Derek King. God bless the Soca Warriors. God bless the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago and this fella right here.